Hey everyone, today I thought that we would work on this crochet book cover. All it is a piece of rectangle fabric, and I took and sewed the sides so that you could slide the ends of your book in. It's not hard to do. This is the Leaping Stripes pattern, and I will walk you through on how to do this pattern. Now, the supplies that you're going to need is scissors, tapestry needles, and I used a size G or a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. I also used a measuring tape, which I don't have right beside me right now, but you'll need a measuring tape to measure your book to see how long your chain needs to be. And the yarn that I used for this project, I only had one color. I had one skein of each color available, and so that's what you have left out of one skein of each. Now, I'm using Lime Brand Yarns Heartland. It is 251 yards per skein, or 142 grams. It is 100% acrylic. It is a number 4 weight, medium yarn, and the recommended hooks and needles is a size J or 6 millimeter, or for the knitting needles is a size 9 or a 5.5 millimeter. And the color that I use today is Mount Rainier. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but that's one color. And the other color that I used is Great Smoky Mountains. But yes, I will leave a link down in the description box below on where you can find the yarn. Let's get started. Okay, so I've already made my big piece. I'm going to show you on a smaller scale on how to do it. My chain for my bigger piece was 59, 2 plus 1, but if you're covering a bigger book or a smaller book, you'll want to switch the numbers up. As long as you stay in the 2 plus 1 when you do your chain, then you should be good. Today I'm going to chain 21. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm just going to go to 20. Okay, so I got my chain done, and once I get it to the length that I want, I'm going to add one more chain, which is the turning chain. Now I'm going to work in the back bumps here on the back of the chain, but if you'd prefer to work here, you can. I prefer the back bumps because it leaves a cleaner edge on it, but it's all in what you prefer. Now, you see here, when you look at the back bumps, there's first back bump, which counts as the first chain, and then you got number 2, 3, 4, there's the back bumps. And you're going to skip this first back bump, and we're going to go into the second bump, and we're going to just put a single crochet in it. If you don't know how to complete a single crochet, I'll leave a link in the description on my single crochet video tutorial. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. Sorry about that. Now we're just going to put a single crochet in each chain across, and we'll make back up to the end. Okay, so I finished my chain, and I should have 20 stitches here, because that chain 1 at the very end was just the turning chain. We don't count that one as a stitch. Now to start the next row, the repeat row, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to put a single crochet in this first stitch. Now we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to skip 2 stitches 1, 2, and we're going to go into the third stitch and make a double crochet. We're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to put a double crochet in that third stitch. We're going to put a double crochet into the next stitch. So that's what you're going to do for this row. You're going to chain 2, skip 2, and then 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. You're going to put 1 in each stitch. And then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches and put 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and you're going to repeat that till you reach the end. Okay, I've made it to the end, and I have 3 stitches left. 1, 2, 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2. I'm going to skip the first 2 stitches, and I'm going to single crochet in that last stitch. And that's what it should look like. Now, every 2 rows we switch colors, or if you've got more than 2 colors that you want to do, figure out the pattern you want to do it in. And but yeah, I'm just using 2 colors right now. And I don't count this right here, the startup rows. I don't count these as part of the two rows of the color. Now, let's chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to put a single crochet in that last single crochet that we made. And then we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into these two skipped stitches that we skipped from the previous row, and we're going to go over work over this chain as well. So yarn over your hook, insert your hook into the skipped stitch here, and you want to make sure that the chain 2 is underneath the yarn as well, because you want to catch it. And you're going to make a double crochet. You're going to do it again. That stitch right there, you're going to yarn over and create a double crochet, and you're going to make sure that the yarn catches the chain 2. Okay, so we are coming up on 2 double crochets here, and what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip these 2 double crochets, and we're going to only work into the skipped stitches here for this row. Well, it'll be for every row now that we've got our foundation started. We just go into those stitches, chain 2, and skip the 2 sets of double crochet, and go into the skipped stitches. See? Let me back up. Okay, I made it to the end. And this is what you should have. You have 1 stitch left here, which is the single crochet from the previous round. And what you're going to do is you're just going to put a single crochet in the single crochet. But I'm going to attach my second color. And the way I'm going to attach my color is I'm going to pull up a loop in the first color, and I'm going to complete the stitch using my color B. Tighten that all up. Put the straggler to the side, and we're going to chain 1, to lock that in. And we're going to single crochet into that single crochet. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip these double crochets, and we're going to double crochet into the skipped ones from the previous row. Always making sure to catch the chain 2 as well under the yarn. Now chain 2. And you're just going to repeat this all the way down, and when you get to the end, you'll have a single crochet that you put in to even it up. And you're going to go all the way to the end, and then you're going to chain 1 and do another row of this color, and we'll meet back up here. Okay, so I did my 2 rows of color B, and instead of cutting off my color A, I wanted to show you how I carry my yarn, so that way you don't have a bunch of ends to hide, and you're going to crochet over it anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Now you're going to pull up a loop like you're going to complete the last single crochet, and this color B you're going to put to the side, and you're going to grab your color A, and you're going to yarn over and pull it through. Now you don't want this color A. You can see here that there's a carryover, and if that's snug, if you pull it too tight, then your piece is going to be warped. You want it to loosen up a little bit so that your piece is even and straight. And then you just chain 1 and single crochet, and you keep on making your rows. But that's how to do it. I did, like I said, I did 59 for my book cover, but if you do a smaller book or a bigger book, binder, whatever it is that you want to cover, your chains may have to be different. You just take and chain 2 plus 1, and you should have the repeat just like you see here. Okay, before we go on to sewing the sides, I wanted to show you how to finish off your piece. See, you have these gaps here, and you don't want those gaps whenever you go to lining your book. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish it off, and we're going to do it like we would the other rows. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work. We're going to single crochet in that single crochet, and you're going to put a double crochet in each of these skipped stitches. One, 2, and instead of chaining 2 and skipping these double crochets, you're just going to put a single crochet in those double crochets, and you're going to do it again. You make double crochets in these 2 skipped stitches, and you're going to put single crochets in these 2 double crochets. And see, that's how you finish it off. Okay, I'm going to try to demonstrate how to sew these together. It's just my piece that I folded over. Now there are lots of ways that you can do it. You can take a tapestry needle and yarn and mattress stitch it, or whatever stitch you prefer, and sew it together. I'm going to take and single crochet down, start here and down the side, and work my way over here to this side and stitch it together. So I stitch both sides together at one time. That's just the way I'm going to do it. You can do it however you want. Now I'm going to start over here on this side. So I took and folded it as much as I needed to for this side of my book, and then I took a piece of yarn and attached both sides together so that it didn't move on me while I was working over here on this side. You can use stitch markers or whatever it is that you have laying around. I just used scrap yarn. Okay, so I attached my color A to my piece, and I went through both stitches on both sides to attach it, and I'm just going to take and single crochet back into that stitch, and then I'm going to insert my hook into this stitch and go behind and find the matching stitch and pull up a loop and single crochet. You're going to do it again. And you're just going to continue that all the way down until you get over here, and you'll stitch this side up like you do this side. Okay, I'm back over here to the other side, and I took my stitch marker out and I'm lining up my piece, and I'm going to go into that first stitch I had. I'm going to go into the next stitch on the back. I'm going to do a single crochet. Go into the next two stitches, single crochet, and you're just going to continue this until you reach the end. Sorry. Get back down here. It's not focusing very well. There we go. You're just going to continue that all the way down. Okay, I finished off the first side, and I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to switch colors and go to the darker color to do this side so it doesn't stand out. And I'm just going to repeat what I did on the other side. Okay, I took and went ahead and sewed my sides up and slid my book in. And there you have it. It fits perfectly. Thanks for watching.